Coming up, have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up and before your eyes even fully open, you just feel, behind? I mean, you haven't even brushed your teeth yet, but you already feel like you're losing a race you didn't sign up for. You look at the houseplant next to your window that is quietly turning brown. I mean, it's just a plant. It just needs a quarter cup of water and a little bit of love, but your brain looks at that one crispy leaf and decides it's a character witness for why you can't be trusted with nice things. Then you see that one unread text message from 3 days ago. It's a nice text. It's just someone asking, how are you doing? But because you didn't answer it immediately, it has now grown into a full-time job assignment in your mind. I mean, answering it feels like writing a 3-book famous novella. And suddenly, you find yourself standing in the kitchen, staring at a half-empty box of cereal, wondering if you should just delete all your social media and move to a cabin in the woods. That is a very big conclusion from a very small pile of normal human life. In this video, we are not fixing your whole life. We aren't optimizing you. We're doing something much quieter. Because what if life feels like too much, not because it's actually broken, but because it's just all blended together into one giant confusing ball of noise? Let's slow this down. FunHob, because honestly, what's a YouTube or a Google anyway but a play on words? Hi, I'm Mark, and I'm your tour guide through today's mildly unnecessary emotional overreaction. Now, most of us avoid checking in on our lives for the same reason we avoid looking at the bottom of the crisper drawer in the fridge. We're afraid of what's evolved down there. We think if I pause and actually look at my life, I'm going to realize I'm failing at every single thing at the same time. I mean, we imagine this giant, terrifying monster living in the closet, and we tell ourselves, as long as I don't open the door, the monster can't hurt me. But here's the problem. Even when the door is closed, you can hear the monster breathing. You're trying to watch a movie, but you hear the monster breathing. You're trying to fall asleep, but guess what? You hear the monster breathing. It's like the hum. You know that sound a refrigerator makes? Most of the time, you don't notice it, but if it gets just a little bit louder, it starts to get on your nerves. Your brain is like that fridge. Right now, you probably have 20 different tabs open in the background of your mind. And think about it. Tab 1, your body. Why does my neck hurt? Did I drink water? I should eat a salad. Tab 1 is always humming. Tab 2, money. The car insurance is due. Why was the grocery bill $200? I'm never going to retire. Tab 2 is humming louder. And then say tab 3, your stuff, the laundry, the oil change, the junk drawer that won't close. When all these tabs stay open, they eat up all your mental energy. You feel exhausted by 11 a.m. and you haven't even done anything yet. And because it's all blended together, your nervous system does something very smart. It shuts down. It says, everything is a threat. We're in danger. Go watch videos of people power washing their driveways for 3 hours. And honestly, that makes total sense. If you think your whole life is a disaster, why would you want to look at it? But what if the monster in the closet isn't a monster at all? I mean, what if it's actually just 3 medium-sized cats in a trench coat? Cats are manageable. Cats can be fed. A monster requires a sword. A cat just requires a little bit of attention. A laser pointer even. And today we're going to satisfy the cats in the trench coat. Now, the biggest reason we feel like failures is the blend. Try to imagine 3 radios in a small room. Radio 1 is playing heavy metal. I mean, that's your work and money stress. Radio 2 is playing a sad, slow cello. That's your body being tired and your family stuff. Radio 3 is playing a weather report about a coming storm. And that's your sense of purpose and creativity. I mean, if you stand in the middle of the room, you don't hear 3 songs. What do you experience? You experience a wall of noise. Your jaw will clench. Your heart rate will go up. Your brain doesn't say, I hear 3 distinct sounds. It just receives one message. I'm being hunted. This is why you feel overwhelmed. It's not because your life is too big. It's because the radios are too close together. So we separate them into 3 specific buckets. We call these the 3 core areas. And once we name them, they stop being a life crisis and start being what? Logistics. Let's start with area 1. Health and family. This is your container. It's your physical body and your smallest circle of people. When this is blended, you just feel drained. And you think it's a character flaw, but you're snappy with your partner or your kids and you tell yourself, I'm becoming a mean person. But when you separate it, you notice the data. Oh, I haven't had a full night's sleep in 4 days. Suddenly you aren't a mean person. You're just a person with a low battery. Separation turns a moral failing into a body fact. You apologize and even learn to catch yourself next time before you do it. It takes the weight off your identity and puts it in the maintenance folder. Area 2, finances and stability. This is your sense of safety. It's your money, your job, and your basic security. When this is blended, well, one high grocery bill feels like you'll be homeless by Christmas. So your brain takes up one tiny signal and projects a total life collapse. But when you separate it, you can look at that bill and say, okay, the safety radio is just loud today. Doesn't mean the house is on fire. It just means the bill is high. This separation is how you look at your bank app without your heart rate hitting 120. It might still be uncomfortable, but uncomfortable is not catastrophic. Area 3, joyful purpose. Now, this is the part of you that is more than just a bill payer or a body manager. This is your creativity, your hobbies, and the thing that makes you feel like you. When this is blended, life feels like a treadmill. You feel like you're just surviving, and you start to wonder, is this it? Is this the rest of my life? But when you separate it, you can notice, I haven't picked up my guitar in 3 weeks. That realization isn't a judgment. It's an invitation. The point isn't to manage these perfectly. The point is simply to see them as 3 different radios. Instead of everything is wrong, it becomes, the health radio is just really loud right now. One feels crushing, the other feels understandable. Here's a quick segue before we continue. If your brain is like, I needed this, you can just stay here with this. There's nothing else you need to do. But if you want, you can like the video or subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified when new videos come out. It helps the channel a bit because, the algorithm gods. And if you ever feel like going a little bit deeper, there's more on Patreon. No pressure, just here if you need it. Future you might even appreciate it. Alright, back to the video. So why does our brain keep blending them? Because your brain is actually a terrible editor. Think of your brain like a tabloid news editor. Let's call the newspaper the Daily Panic. When you are well rested and calm, that editor is objective. They report the facts. But when you're tired or stressed or carrying the hum, anxiety takes over the editor's desk. And anxiety is a bad tabloid editor. Anxiety doesn't want to report, you need to buy more milk. No. Anxiety wants to scream, Total nutritional collapse. Household on the brink of extinction. It takes a small signal like a boss being short in an email, and it doesn't leave it in the stability folder. No, it drags it into the identity folder. It says, if the boss is short, I'm bad at my job. If I'm bad, I'll be fired. If I'm fired, I'm a failure as a provider. In 4 seconds, one email turns into a verdict on your entire soul. It's like a bad drink called the spiral of blended truth. Because the headline is so loud, you stop looking at the details. You stop seeing that 80% of your life might be functioning perfectly. Your health might be great. Your relationships might be solid, but because the stability radio is at a volume 10, you think the whole house is on fire. This is why you don't check your bank account. This is why you don't step on the scale. You think that by looking, you are confirming the tabloid headline. But here's the secret. Looking is the only way to fire the editor. When you look at the facts, the identity headline disappears. The bank balance is $42. That might not be a fun fact. It's not, but it's a manageable one. Let's be honest here. Fact, $42 is a math problem. No story, I am a failure, is an identity problem, right? We blend them because we think the story is the truth. But the story is just noise. Separating them is how you stay, what? Human. So how do we stop the radios from screaming? We don't do it by trying harder. We don't do it by having more discipline. We do it by asking a much gentler question. I mean, most of the time we ask, what's wrong with me? And that question is a trap. It assumes you are the problem. Instead, I want you to try this. Which part of my life is asking for a little attention right now? That is a completely different energy. I mean, it's the difference between a police officer demanding your ID and a friend asking you if you need a glass of water. One is a demand for performance. The other is an offer of care. When you ask, which part? You force these radios from before to actually separate. I mean, you are telling your brain, we are not looking at the whole pile here. We're just looking at one track. This is the first step in calming your nervous system. You are narrowing the field so your system doesn't feel hunted, in threat. You're giving yourself permission to ignore the other 2 radios for a minute. I mean, if your body is screaming because you're exhausted, it's okay to let the purpose radio stay quiet for a while. If your stability radio is loud because of a bill, it's okay to not worry about optimizing your diet today. Think of clarity. Clarity says, I see this one thing. And then you have pressure. Pressure says, I must fix everything. But when you choose clarity, you give permission to yourself to breathe. And that's better. So today, your homework is nothing. You do not need to organize your classes. You do not need to solve your career path. You do not need to cancel 12 subscriptions. Now, I want you to try something very small. Just pause for a second right now and look at those 3 areas. Health, stability, and purpose. Which one feels a little louder right now? Don't try to turn it down. Don't try to fix it. Just identify it. Say it out loud. Oh, the health radio is pretty loud today. I'm just really tired. Or the purpose area has been really quiet lately. I see that. That's it. Just notice. That's the whole win. I mean, you're not being graded. You're definitely not behind. You are simply noticing where life is happening. And when you do this, you're practicing the most important skill in this entire system. Awareness without judgment. You are training your brain to see facts instead of catastrophic headlines. And even that, just that moment of noticing still counts. Because the truth is, I can check in without judgment and call that progress. Again, I can check in without judgment and call that progress. That sentence is your anchor for this round. Repeat it when the pile feels heavy. Repeat it when the closet door feels like it's about to burst. And that's enough for now. You've done the work just by listening. Until then, be gentle with yourself this week. You do not need to sort your whole life tonight. You just need a little more clarity than you had 5 minutes ago. And if one area feels loud right now, that does not mean everything is wrong. It just means one part of your life is asking to be noticed. I'm glad you're here. See you on the next one. If this feels like something you've been needing, you can stick around here. Just don't forget to like the video and subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. You'd be doing me a solid by helping me out and helping out the channel because, algorithms. And if you ever want to go a little bit deeper, there's more on Patreon. There's no pressure, it's just there when you need it. A big thank you again for watching and see you next time.